Very good morning and a very warm welcome. So let me start with a small AV from our side. So once we finish that, so can I have the AV please?
ये रास्ते ना खत्म हो, दिल में यही अरमान है, इंसान है हम इस बात की, ये रास्ते पहचान है। ये रास्ते ना खत्म हो, दिल में यही अरमान है, इंसान है हम इस बात की, ये रास्ते पहचान है। देखो हमें, हम चल पड़े किस जुनू किस शान से, जन्नत नुमा कश्मीर से, आसाम के बागान से, दिल्ली का लहड़पन लिए, यूपी के खलिहान से, महाराष्ट्र से, गुजरात से, कर्नाटक से, राजस्थान से, तब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जय हो विजय हो, राम हो, प्रभा हो, नाम हो, नवीन हो, देश हो विदेश हो, जय के हो। जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से, जय हो विजय हो, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से।
जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
And a very warm welcome once again and greetings to our esteemed guests, and looking forward to your support as always. So we at JK Tyre have, as Sundari was sharing, are the pioneers of radial technology in India, and as you can see a lot of placards around all behind you. We have probably the first ones to bring in a puncture guard tire, the first ones to bring in a smart tire, and also one of the leading manufacturers who makes high-speed performance tires called Levitas. So with this, I'll hand it back to Sundari, and thank you, Sundari, for calling me over.
Thank you so much, sir. Can we give a big round of applause? Thank you. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Chiranjeev Singh, Vertical Head Commercial Vehicles, JK Tyres, to please come on to the dais and give the product launch presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chiranjeev, and I'll be taking you through a small presentation on how JK Tyre is aligned with the key trends and indicators that we're seeing in the CV market specifically. Today, we are gathered here to launch 4 new tires in the commercial vehicle tire range that JK offers to the industry, and how we captured those instances and the trends in market and translated those in our new tires. So the first trend that we captured, say year and a half back, was the government spending on infra sectors and how it's been buoyant for more than now 1.5 to 2 years. The kind of commitment from government as well as the execution agencies involved has been phenomenal, and we've seen a really good spurt in demand, whether it's steel, cement, or even road construction. So keeping these indicators in mind, we went to our customers and we captured the VOC, which is the voice of the customer, that what is the requirement from the tire aspect that they require in these specific applications. So 3 things came out. One was durability came as the priority 1 item, that there should be least amount of failures, because that is where the make or break in terms of the ownership cost, the total cost of ownership goes down for the fleet. Second is, because of the rough nature, the abuse of tire that happens in that particular application, the desired benefit is lesser number of cuts and chips in the tires. And the third one was having a longer tire life with even wear, which the industry or our transporters were not getting with the existing range of tires available in the industry. So with all these VOC, our engineers in PDC developed this tire called JDC XD, which is our on and off road tire, a lug tire for specifically tipper application. And what JDC stands for is J stands for JK, D stands for the fitment position, which is the drive or dummy axle of the vehicle, and C is the application in which this tire is used, which is construction. And XD denotes the special benefit that this tire delivers to the customer, which is extra durability. So as I said, this is primarily for the tipper application, and we've seen a good spurt in sales even from a vehicle standpoint of view. And this is one vehicle segment in commercial vehicles where the demand has been buoyant from last 1.5 to 2 years. So these are the two main sizes that we've launched in this SKU. One is the 295 90R20 and the bigger one being 11R20. Can we have the AV for JDC XD, please?
आगे बढ़ तू चलता चल, राहें जितनी चाहे मुश्किल हों, पर नजर में तेरी मंजिल हो। तू फिक्र छोड़, सपनों को खोल, बस आगे बढ़ तू चलता चल। कांटे पत्थर नदियां नाले, सर्द अंधेरे गर्म उजाले, इन सब से तू शर्त लगा ले, बस आगे बढ़ तू चलता चल। मोड़ देखकर रुकना छोड़, बोझ से डरकर झुकना छोड़, तू पकड़ बना अपना असर दिखा, बस आगे बढ़ तू चलता चल। ख्वाबों की तस्वीर बदल, खुद अपनी तकदीर बदल, तू धूल उड़ा रफ्तार बढ़ा, बस आगे बढ़ तू चलता चल। पेश है नई तकनीक के साथ रफ टफ और भरोसेमंद जेट स्टील JDC XD, आपके ट्रकों के नए साथी। JK टायर, जिंदगी के पहिए।
So that was our tire. As you saw, the severity of application that this tire goes through. And I'm also happy to announce that these tires have been well received and the confidence has resonated even by our OEM partners, whether it is Tata or Ashok Leyland or Volvo Eicher. So all the major OEMs in CV industry are accepting this tire and they come as OE fitment in their tipper vehicles as well. So moving on, the next application or the usage that we saw gaining prominence in last 1.5 to 2 years was the rise in multi-axle vehicles and tippers, as I mentioned. So the requirement was to make a tire which can be used as front fitment in tippers as well as front fitment and dummy axle fitment in multi-axle vehicles, which have gained a large number in last 1.5 to 2 years. The requirement again from the field or from the direct customers were captured, and the VOC said that they wanted a tire which could deliver them even performance, and there was no issue of uneven wear in the tire. Second was lower tire life was their pain point, which we wanted to address through our new offering in semi-lug. And because of the increase in axle load norms, they wanted a tire which could withstand the new norms or the new loads which were carried in the trucks, including multi-axles. So keeping these requirements of the customer in mind, JK came up with a semi-lug tire called JUC XM. In the same parlance, if we break down that JUC XM, J again stands for JK. U being the fitment position is the universal fitment. So in a multi-axle, this same tire can be used in front fitment as well as rear in the dummy axle. When it comes to tipper, this is a combination that all the OEMs have also accepted, whether it is Tata or Ashok Leyland. All these guys are using JUCXM in the front axle and JDCXD, which we just saw in the rear axle. So we have a varied application for this particular SKU, whether it is in construction, sand, or carrying construction material, cement, iron, or even heavy machinery. And comparing it even with multi-axle usage, where it's used to carry industrial goods, liquid and gas, or even perishable. So this is one of the widely used pattern, and in terms of application, this has one of the widest usage in the CV industry right now. Next, moving on, which is a little apart from what we've just seen right now, the two tube type tires that we saw, JDCXD and JUCXM, we now move on to a very different category. The road infra, as I mentioned, has been substantially improved. Apart from that, even the higher rated load freight traffic has increased. The extent of overloading that we used to see 2 years, 5 years back has come down drastically. There are a lot more people now moving on to rated load. Then another segment where the CV industry as a whole has seen the highest amount of growth, any OEM, the maximum growth that they've seen is in the bus segment. And the fourth factor being energy efficiency norms coming into picture. What we've seen in foreign countries, even European countries, the same fuel efficiency norms have been defined and will be very shortly coming in our Indian context as well. One point which they wanted from us, that the durability of the tire cannot be compromised. So keeping all these things in mind, we came up with our new tubeless tire, which is JUM-XM, where again J stands for JK, U is the universal fitment. Since majority of this tire will be fitted in buses, it's a universal fitment that it can be fitted in the front as well as rear. And XM stands for extra mileage product in terms of BE, energy efficiency index. And this is one of the highest energy efficient tire in the Indian MNCs, with a RRC, rolling resistance, of 4.9 Newton per kilonewton. Apart from being the lowest RRC in Indian context, it also has a stronger bead construction, since these tires, the requirement from the customer was to have least amount of breakdowns. So the bead also has been defined accordingly. And this is predominantly being used in the rated load applications when it comes to truck and in luxury coach buses like Volvo or Mercedes-Benz Daimler. The predominant size in this particular SKU of JUM-XM is 295 80R 22.5, which is a tubeless size. And this is the rating that we've got. It's a 4-star rated tire, as I mentioned, with a RRC of 4.9, which is one of the lowest RRCs amongst all the Indian companies. The last segment which we are planning to launch today is the EV segment. EV has gained a lot of traction in last 2 years, and be it any OEM, everybody has a specific project in terms of delivering EV buses in the market. And we've seen that since buses have shown a very robust growth from last 2 years, as per Niti Ayog's estimation, almost more than 1.5 lakh buses will be required by the state transport organizations by 2030, which is one of the biggest factor which will fuel the growth in this particular segment. Also, with FAME 1 and FAME 2 coming in, this market is supposed to be buoyant for next coming 5 to 6 years as well, because all the old ICE engine buses will be going out and will be replaced by EV buses going forward. So the requirement from a EV tire is very different from what we see as a tire requirement from a IC engine tire. One, of course, it has to be one of the safest tires since it's been used in buses. Also, the kind of torque that these tires withstand is nothing compared to what we see in the ICE engine. It's much more higher in EV buses, and the lower energy consumption. So how many kilometers the tire can deliver in one particular charge becomes the barometer of it. We have come up with a EV specific tire called JUX E, which we are offering to electric trucks and buses. Yeah. So the main three benefits of this particular tire is that it gives higher kilometers per charge than a regular ICE engine tire, the lowest noise with just 60 decibel levels, and with a durable and strong casing, it gives an enhanced safety and durability aspect to the customers. So you have a range of sizes, since there are a lot of EV buses coming in with different platforms as well, whether it is Tata or Ashok Leyland or even JBM or Electra. So we have a range of sizes which are coming in JUXE, starting from 295, 80, 22.5, which is the largest size, and also some new sizes coming in the Indian context, being 275 and 255. And the same methodology and the thought process is also being percolated to the LCV segment of EV buses as well. Can we have the AV for JUXE, please?
So very good afternoon to all my friends from the media. Very happy to be here in Hyderabad today. As my colleague Chiranjeev just shared with you, we are here to launch 4 new models, 4 new SKUs, mainly for the truck and bus application. But before we get into the details of the products, I would like to share certain details with you. We as a company, our vision is to be a green and trusted mobility partner. When I say mobility, what it means is that we are talking about mobility of goods and mobility of people, both. And we are present across the range. Whether we talk about the tires which are used on the trucks and buses, the smaller commercial vehicles, passenger car range, even in the farm segment, 2-3 wheelers, off the road, huge dumper trucks. One of the tires that we have is almost 12 feet tall. Even my 6 feet some inches is not good enough. So when I stood in front of the tire, I was just coming to half the way. So we have a complete range. But today, over here, we are to talk about the commercial vehicles. Why do we need to bring out new SKUs? So there's a change that is happening, which started, I think so, 6 to 7 years back, when the country saw 2 major changes in the commercial vehicle industry. One was when the GST got implemented. Second, when the axle load norms also underwent change. This happened somewhere in 2016, 2017. Now we are in 2024. So the commercial vehicle industry has gone through a lot of change. What are those changes? I would first like to share with you. And what role a company like ours, which produces tires, plays in that. So some of the things is that today the ownership patterns, how the commercial vehicle, the fleet operator, when he buys the vehicle, what happens? Earlier, he was the first user of the vehicle would keep the vehicle with them for 4 to 5 years. The finance was taken for 4 to 5 years, and after that the vehicle would change hands. He would sell it off to somebody else. So that was one. That was the era of BS3, BS4 emission norms. But in BS6 emission norms, the cost of the vehicle, the acquisition cost has gone up. And therefore, the first user keeps the vehicle with them for a much longer period. Now what it does, that it has given a very different importance to the total cost of operations, or the TCO. In TCO, one of the major aspects, if you take the total TCO of the vehicle, almost 50% of the TCO is the fuel cost. The other 18 to 20% is the cost of the tire. So almost 70% of the TCO is where we are involved. Now you would say that, okay, we understand the cost of the tire is directly correlated to the product that we supply. But how do we play the role in the fuel consumption? So with the advancement in technology, and if you would have heard Chiranjeev talking about the low RRC tires, or the energy rating that is being implemented, or what we call as the energy efficient tires. So these tires decide what would be the overall energy consumption. And we can create a difference of up to 5%. 5% is the difference that can happen by using the tires that are designed specifically for that particular application. I will come to that a little later. But another aspect that has happened, that while the ownership pattern has changed, another phenomena that we saw is that the fleets, the large fleets, are getting larger. The whole transportation sector is getting more organized. There are fleet owners, if we take the total count, there would be at least 2,000 plus large fleets in the country. When I say large fleet, the fleet has at least 100 vehicles. Some of them can even have more than 1,000. There are a few who are having 5,000.
And we are launching 4 new SKUs which are meant for commercial vehicle application. We are happy to present these 4 new SKUs which are very well suited for the applications. Couple of them are from the construction space, construction and mining sector. As we know that Hyderabad is a very big market, a hub for mining activity and construction activity. So here we are introducing these 2 new SKUs. Another 2 SKUs that we have launched today are pertaining to one is for the electric vehicle buses, the JUXE, and the other one is also a tubeless variant, which is also going to be very energy efficient. Today, keeping the total cost of operations for the commercial vehicles in mind, we are bringing out products which are more energy efficient and which will help the fleet operators bring down their total cost of operations considerably, and this will enhance their profitability and make their operations more viable. So we would be launching these 4 new SKUs into this market today, which are very well adapted and developed for those specific applications.
What is the market share of JK Tyres?
So as I mentioned, that we are the market leaders in the domestic market when it comes to overall commercial vehicles. Also talking specifically about the truck and bus radial tires, we are again the number 1, whether it is we talk about the OEMs or whether we talk about the replacement market. The combined volumes that we sell in the domestic market, we are the market leaders.